It's Mike, and today we're going to talk about when should you use an automation to send an email versus using a broadcast. My answer to this is going to be based on using ActiveCampaign. So if you use Infusionsoft, Drip, Ontraport, ConvertKit, whatever, you may have a different approach to this. Okay, so let's establish the two types of emails. A broadcast email is as it sounds. It's meant to go from one person broadcast out to many people. The architecture of the software is in place for one-to-many, to go out to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people at once. An automation it's going out to a more select group of people, generally smaller amounts of people, often spread out over time. Comparison I like to use is if you're going to write 10,000 letters and send it out through the postal system. You take your big stack of letters or your pallet of mail, you drop it off at the postal service. It would get flown across the country if it had to, or delivered. But if you go in the reverse, and if you had 10,000 people all trying to show up at your doorstep to get a letter, it would be absolute chaos. You'd have traffic jams and roadblocks and all kinds of chaos going on. That's kind of my impression of how ActiveCampaign works in a similar way. If you're going to build an automation and try to get your entire list into it at the same time, bad things are going to happen because it's not designed to do that. There's been mentions of people getting stuck in wait steps. I've heard way worse things happening potentially whenever you overload an automation. So don't do it. There's no reason for it. You can schedule your emails out in advance. You can set them up. You can have really good targeting, really good segments. There's really no reason to use an automation when you're sending out to the masses. I have not had any problems doing it this way. I just use smaller groups of people at a time. I'm not trying to use an automation to send out 50,000 emails at once. That's some background. Hopefully it's helpful. It may be ActiveCampaign specific. Just use a broadcast when you're sending one-to-many all at once, when you want everyone to get it at the same time. And an automation is more on demand. As people get to a certain stage, the content is dripped out.